on Saturday, we decided to go out to this protest. It was another one of those protests on the Strip, the reopen protest, get us out of quarantine protest, one of those. And I decided to go out there for a couple.
Well, it was the one that JD talked about on Friday, right?
So I decided to go out there for a couple different.
I mentioned it one time.
Yeah. I decided to go out there for a couple different reasons. Even though you see all the videos of these protests throughout the country, you want to actually see it with your own eyes for yourself. So I said I want to go out there and I want to see one of these for myself. It wasn't to go out there to get into it with Trump, Trump guys, or get into arguments with people. That's not why I wanted to go out there. For the show purposes, and for the purpose just of myself, just to be there to see what it was like. So we show up to this thing, and there was maybe about 100 people there, no more than that, and 90% of those people were wearing Trump gear. It might have been a Make America Great Again hat or a shirt. It might have been a sign. It might have been, Make America Great Again 2020 on their car. But that's exactly what was out there, period. I saw it with my own eyes. So people can lie. People can say this isn't about politics. It was 100% about politics. Everyone out there. Now, they might believe that, hey, they want things to reopen. That's fine. But it's also about politics. You make it about politics when you wear all your Trump stuff. That's number one. Number two, we had some militia people out there, people dressed as G.I. Joe. There were about 4 or 5 of them, and we're going to have one of them coming up at the bottom of the hour, but I want to focus on that later when we have our guest. That was another thing. So I noticed that Fox 5 was out there, and I've worked with some guys over at Fox 5 before. They sent one of their camera guys out there. To my knowledge, that was the only news crew that was out there when we were there. And he interviewed a few Trump supporters, and it looked like he was struggling to get some sound bites. Some of these people are not in the media. Some of these people are not used to being able to talk in full sentences. I understand that. So I went up to the camera guy and I said, hey, I'm one of these people that are opposed to this rally. And his eyes lit up. And he's like, oh, yeah, I want to talk to you. But then he's like, let's move away from some of these people. And then he had one of these Trump clowns that's following the cameraman, trying to give him his political beliefs. And the camera guy's like, yeah. Okay, buddy. And then he looks at me and he goes, I don't care what that guy has to say. I was just laughing. So anyway, I did an interview with Fox 5. I did not know that I would be, they would use more of my sound bites than anybody else, but they did. I wanted to air that for you. So this is the Fox 5 report that they did on this protest over the weekend. Here it goes.
Following Governor Sisolak's announcement to extend the stay-at-home order and push back certain business openings, protesters gathered near downtown this morning. Fox 5's Chris Redfern reports.
Protests.
Okay, so get ready.
Politics.
If it's not a political situation, then don't make it political.
And different platforms. This morning, hundreds gathered with differing opinions on how to handle reopening the Las Vegas economy.
Please balance it, okay? Open us completely up, please. People will keep safe.
Our governor doesn't appear to have much concern about people who are suffering financially.
I personally believe if the Strip has been open this whole time, we could look like New York.
That's local radio host Brian Shapiro.
I do a radio show here in Vegas called The Vegas Take.
He says he largely supports how the governor's handled things so far, but respects there's people here at this protest who see things differently. But a mere difference of opinion wasn't what was frustrating him today.
Clearly, when you zoom your camera around, not everybody is practicing social distancing. That's my number one concern. These people have a right to protest. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Practice social distancing.
Shapiro and others acknowledged how tough times are right now.
It's just stressing us out with money. I mean, we're just getting by right now. We can't keep this up any longer. There's the science that's showing that, it's affecting certain groups more than others. I think we should make sure we take extra protection to protect them. But, for the average person, we need to just continue on with our lives.
I'm Christopher Redfern, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
All right, so I thought they did a pretty good job in showing really what was there. Like I said, there were only about 100 people. Not a very good showing at all. In fact, I thought it was an embarrassment as far as from a showing perspective. If the majority or even more than half of Nevada feels that way, then why do you only get 100 people at a protest? That's number one. Number two, why are you all wearing your Trump stuff? I mean, I don't understand that. It takes away from your cause. Even if I was, hypothetically speaking, if I was a Donald Trump supporter, which clearly I'm not, but if I was, why would I want to wear Trump stuff? That's not why I'm there. I'm not there to try to reelect Donald Trump. I'm there because I want stuff to reopen. And that's fine. If that's your opinion, even though I disagree.
Well, and again, Brian, obviously the event was poorly organized and not very well marketed, clearly. But the group The Nevada's Against Extended Quarantine, which I am a part of, has almost 9,000 members, and it is about reopening Nevada. And it's not about political affiliation.
Then why are they all wearing Trump stuff?
Because obviously there's some extremists.
No, that's not true.
No, there are some extremists who think that coronavirus is a hoax, who believe whatever they want to believe. You're going to have X amount of percentage of people that are involved in the group that are going.
What does it have to do with Trump?
That are going to be extremists.
What is
and obviously, if you want the economy open, there's a much greater chance that you are a Trump supporter than if you are not. The entire perspective here is that we want Nevada opened up. Now, if you want to support Trump in the process, that's your business, but that's not what the group is all about. And so that's why the actual event was not accurately representative of what the group is representative of.
Okay, but that's not our fault. I'm not
suggesting that it is.
I'm going by what I saw.
But it certainly wasn't a Klan rally either.
No, I didn't say it was a Klan rally. I never said that.
And I wasn't there to start because my car was actually stolen.
Nobody cares about.
Oh, I do. I'm explaining to you why I wasn't there, but I wasn't there to start. And I would have gone on Fox 5, and I would have had the differing opinion. I would have eloquently stated it, and they would have shown that as well.
Okay.
But I wasn't there for that. There will be another protest on the 16th of May in 2 weeks, and that will be much better attended.
Okay, I can't wait.
It'll be much more organized, and I hope you're there.
I can't wait.
I hope you're there, but it's going to be at.
What are you going to get? 200?
There's going to be 200 there now.
Yeah.
Is that a joke?
I'm asking.
I'm asking an honest question.
Brian, let's wager. I'm dead serious.
I want to know how many people are going to be there.
No, let's wager.
I'm honestly asking.
Let's do it.
How many people?
How much do you want to bet?
I want to know.
First of all, nobody cares. I'm trying to talk about what happened over the weekend.
Now you're trying to mock the event and me being a part of it.
No, that's not what I said.
Yes, you are. And I'm saying put your money where your mouth is.
Again, you're not listening.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you that we will have at least.
You just said yourself that it was an embarrassing. That was
not
organized correctly.
It was not organized correctly. I was not personally involved in the organization.
Can you give me 20 seconds to talk?
Absolutely.
What I meant was nobody cares about our wager.
Okay.
Our listeners don't care about that. Okay. Our listeners probably don't care if you're going to show up or not. What I'm trying to talk about is what I saw there.
Sure.
Okay, and you can talk about the organization. That's fine, but nobody cares about this other stuff. What I'm trying to tell you is that even though there were some people there that were extremists, there were some. 90% of the people that were there were wearing Trump stuff. 90% of the people that were there it felt like a Donald Trump campaign rally. And the point I'm trying to make is, if you're trying to get to Sisolak and you're trying to show some credibility and you're trying to say, let's reopen, you don't make it a Trump rally.
I agree.
Everybody there.
I totally agree with that.
And I guarantee you that's going to happen again. You know why, JD? Because it's happening throughout the country. You haven't seen anybody with a Biden sign. They're making it about politics.
Do you know why that is? Because the thought process is that a lot of these, you look at Utah. Utah was open, right? Those small towns in Utah.
It's a Republican. Counties are open.
It's a Republican governor. It's a Republican governor, right? And he understands that the science says that there's not a lot of cases here. Well, I can tell you that in Nevada, outside of Las Vegas, outside of Clark County. By the way, in Clark County, 70% of the cases have already recovered. But outside of Clark County, there are several counties, entire counties, that have less than 10 cases that are closed right now.
JD, how do you answer this question?
And people are looking at that and they're saying this is political. Obviously, specific Democratic governors and Democratic people who are in these states want to keep everything shut down. They want to keep everything. But I'm telling you why Trump is involved. But they want to keep everything shut down so that the economy does not do well, so that Trump loses in 2020.
Absurd.
No, that's not absurd. Look.
Now you're going down the road.
I'm telling you that. That is why.
Let me interject.
That is why Donald Trump is involved in the conversation right now.
You made your point. Now let me interject, because I think what you said is completely ridiculous.
Not even close.
Okay, well, now it's my turn. Okay. First of all, there is no evidence that you have
to
support. Excuse me. There's no evidence that you have to support the fact that there are Democratic governors that are keeping things closed for one main reason, so that Donald Trump doesn't get reelected in 2020. There is no way that these politicians are intentionally doing that, hurting people, closing down businesses, wanting people to suffer for the sole intention to try to get Donald Trump out of office. And when you make a claim like that, you sound ridiculous.
No, I don't sound ridiculous.
Tell me your 100% evidence of that.
What 100% evidence?
Yes.
What kind of a statement is that, Brian?
If you're the one making the crazy statements, not me.
So the last year, what has the positive that the media has talked about Donald Trump? What has been predicated around? It has been predicated around the economy.
That's your evidence.
The one thing that Trump has done well.
Evidence.
The one thing that Trump has done well the last 3.5 years is the economy. And if the economy is gone, so is Trump's presidency. And these Democratic governors know that. And so the people that are actually that are integrating Donald Trump into the conversation.
You're injecting politics.
The people that are integrating Donald Trump into the conversation understand that there is a political element to this, and that if Trump does not, if the economy is destroyed. And let's say we open up in a month, and then we have to close down again and fall because, like Fauci says, we're gonna have a second wave. Well, if we're closed down during election time, do you think there's any chance in hell that Trump can win the election?
Can I answer that?
I think there isn't.
JD,
and I think that a lot of people across the country think the exact same thing.
I can't. Yeah, JD.
It was a rhetorical question.
JD, I'm gonna make a factual
That's
statement
fine.
here. The only ones injecting politics in this are you and Trump supporters.
That's not true at all.
That's it. That's 100% true. What are Democrats doing as far as what are
Chris,
Democrats doing?
Chris, then why is Nevada? Why are the counties outside of Clark County not open in Nevada?
Why is that?
Why is that?
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you that.
Okay, well, Chris is asking you a question.
I'm asking you a question, not answering.
You guys can't talk at the same time.
What are Democrats doing from a political standpoint, okay, that when dealing with this pandemic, with this virus? What are Democrats doing that is political, okay? Because I'll tell you what, Trump supporters are going out and protesting.
We could take a look at Schiff's and Pelosi and that new team that's investigating how Trump has handled this. You can look at how it's being handled by CNN and by MSNBC and by the coverage by Democratic coverage by networks. It's all the same, Chris. It's all intertwined. Everything is all intertwined at this point.
Wait, so you think
about how we as a country are dealing with a pandemic?
All right, I'll say it again, guys. Hold on. Let's take. I'll say it again. I'll say it again.
Yes.
It's very simple. Okay. You can have your opinions. That's fine, but there is not a shred of actual evidence to support the fact that there are Democrats in office right now that want the economy to tank, that want people to suffer, for the only sole purpose is that so Donald Trump can be thrown from office in 2020.
Okay, not the sole purpose, but part of it is definitely Donald Trump not being the president. And if this was not 2020 and this pandemic hit in, say, 2016 or 2018, I think it would be covered differently, and I believe that we would be back to work at this point.
I'm not sure.
Right now, across the country, it is very clear that in a bunch of places across the country,
talk about the media coverage
the virus has not.
You can talk about how Democrats hate Trump all you want. We're talking about a global pandemic.
Hold on a second.
I asked you a very simple question, and you didn't even bother answering it.
Chris asked you a very specific question, and your only answer. Hold on. Your only answer was Nancy Pelosi and Schiff investigating Trump. You have to come up with something else.
I'm saying a lot of different things are taking place right now. For
example,
Democrats
are not making decisions based on politics when it comes to pandemic.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They absolutely
are, Chris. They absolutely are.
You're wrong.
Oregon is shut down until July 6th. Why? They have 2,600 cases collectively there. Why? Why is that? You answer me that question.
Well, they're using Democratic ideologies.
I'm just telling you, Chris. A lot of economies right now are shut down that don't need to be shut down, predicated on science.
They're not using.
And Nevada is one of those economies.
All right. So here's what we're going to do next. Okay. We're gonna continue this conversation, but my problem is, what good does it do to have people show up at a protest, whether it's 100 or 200 or 5,000 or whatever? What good does it do to have these people show up with their Trump stuff everywhere, looking like buffoons? What good does it do to have people show up with their AR-15s dressed up as G.I. Joe, swearing at some of the cars that are actually in support of them going by? That's exactly what I saw at this pathetic protest over the weekend with about 100 people. That's what I saw. People that couldn't put sentences together. People that were ignorant. One guy that had a car, and on that car, that thing on that car said, Corona hoax.
Extremist.
Well,
Absolutely.
idiots.
I agree.
And I'm not saying
I don't a bunch of people.
I know. I don't agree with that. Or the guy that was there with the RV that was talking about Jesus. That. Do I agree with that? No. And you're going to have extremists. You're going to have, of the 9,000 in the group, you're going to have probably 300 that maybe are in a militia. Or that maybe
fair enough. But what I was saying was
one car, though, JD.
I agree.
Like there was
I understand.
A bunch of people.
I understand.
By
the way, Fox 5 said hundreds of people, not 100.
Okay,
so
well, that's what I saw.
You're downplaying that.
We were actually there.
I was there.
Like Fox News was. We were there.